Hi everyone. It's so great to be here tonight. Let me go ahead and turn it down just a little bit. Thank y'all so much. Welcome to Conversations with Grace. It's your girl Grace. I'm here to inspire, empower, uplift you, and bring you out of that darkness into God's marvelous light. We've got a great set of questions tonight, you all. We're going to try to do about 10 questions tonight. Hopefully, we get through everything in a good amount of time, y'all. I'm trying to stay on here no more than 30 minutes. Sometimes it is extended, but please wait. Wait until the end because I've got some good stuff for you all. So we're going to get straight into the questions like we usually do because I don't want to waste too much time. All right. What is the first question about? Overcoming past infidelity. Mm. So the question is, my new partner worries I might cheat because his ex-wife did. How can we overcome this together? My new partner worries I might cheat because his ex-wife did. How can we overcome this together? So, the first thing that came to me is be patient. Um, be patient. Another word that kind of stuck out to me with what you said is your new partner. So I'm assuming that you all are not married yet. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You said in further detail, you said when your newish partner keeps thinking you might cheat because his ex-wife did, how can we both overcome this? Because we really do love each other. Okay, there are quite a few things that stuck out to me. So you said your newish partner, and then you said you all really love each other. So you have a new partner and you all are already deeply in love. And to me, it kind of sounds like, especially since I'm assuming he's recently divorced just from this text, that he's not quite healed from that previous relationship. And I know I have spoken on last week about, are people able to, you know, still get together and make things work even when they have not healed from a relationship that they previously had. And you can do this, right? But the fact that he is already worrying and it is so new, that's something that I would be concerned about. But you guys are already in love, right? To me, a lot of this seems like moving a little bit too fast. And I'm just being quite serious because his ex-wife cheated. He's not healed. Now he's insecure. Okay. And he's projecting a lot of things on you. And you will have to suffer through that until he can get healed. Now, that's why I said patience. You're going to have to be patient if you want to remain in this relationship. And he's got to do some inner healing. Like other than praying for him, you know, you just got to be patient and don't take the responsibility for any insecurities that he tries to lay on you because that's his responsibility to heal. Like I said before in my last live stream, yes, you can. You can make it work, but I'm going to advise you to make sure you don't take the responsibility of any of his past traumas. Don't allow him to make you feel guilty for something that you did not do, right? Set boundaries and very clear boundaries. Let him know that you are secure in who you are and in your position. You're secure enough to not allow him to lay his traumas on you, but let him know that you will support him through the process if that's what you're willing to do. But you're going to have to be patient with him, and you're going to have to remind him not to lay his past traumas on you. I would encourage you to encourage him to get some counseling to help him heal through that process so that it does not damage the good thing that you all have going right now. And so that's pretty much all you said with that one. The next question is insecurity in a new relationship. The question is, why do I feel so insecure when I start a relationship with someone? And I don't know if you have much to say with that, except the fact that you are ashamed that you don't feel good enough for someone. I guess you just feel like you're never enough. My question is, are you enough for yourself? Are you enough for you? Because even if you're not enough for anybody else, as long as you are enough for you, that's really what matters. Because you're going to be with you till the day you die. You're going to go to the bathroom with you. You're going to go to sleep with you. You're going to get dressed with you. You're going to take a bath with you. You're going to go to work with you. You're going to hear your own thoughts. You're going to always be with you. So are you enough for you? That's the real question. But you're asking, why do you feel so insecure when you start a relationship with someone? Why do you? I can't tell you why you feel so insecure when you start a relationship with someone, but I can ask you, how did your parents make you feel growing up? Did your parents make you feel safe? Did your parents make you feel secure? You know, when you're younger, your parents are supposed to build you up, to lead you confidently into the world, to lead you confidently into the world so that when you take on any situation, you always feel like you're secure in that situation if you know that you're doing something that you ought to be doing, right? And so it could go back to your parents as of what they may have instilled or did not instill in you. But where do you go now with that? You can decide that you will no longer be insecure, right? There are ways that you can do that, but I don't have time to do that right now. But you know where to find me. Y'all know my name is Grace on Facebook, but my family calls me Jana. So just message me and I will help you through that because I'm gonna need some more context than that question right there. So we're gonna go to the next question. Let me straighten up my back. The next question is there more to life than what I'm currently living? Mm. It reminds me of another question that someone recently asked, and it is, does it ever get better than this? You know, there is more to life. There is more to life than what your current situation says right now. It's so much more, it's so much purpose. It's not always pain, and it's so funny. I think maybe probably look a year or so ago, a little bit more than a year ago, I was feeling real bad because I was pregnant. And let me tell you, I was like, I don't know. I was literally just thinking, oh God, when I had to get up early because I was still going to work, I was so tired all the time. And I said, Lord, how much? I don't know how much more I can take. I don't know how much more I can take of this. And that very day, this was actually 7 weeks before I was supposed to go into labor. That very day when I went to my doctor's appointment, I found out that they weren't going to let me continue to remain pregnant. They had to induce me. And so it was like God heard my prayer. It was a lot for me, and I didn't know how I was going to continue. And of course, my baby is safely delivered and growing and well now. But there is more to life. You might be in your birthing era. You might be pregnant full of life, and it's just weighing very heavily on it that you haven't really seen the manifestation of what's inside of you yet. And so there is more. There is more. And what I would ask you to do is I would ask you to pray to God and ask Him to open your eyes so that, and when I say God, I'm talking about the Lord Jesus, because that's the one who I serve. You don't want in line, you got to be clear with people. Look, God, you ain't said my Lord and my Savior. Ask Him, Jesus, ask Him, what is my purpose? Lord, show me my purpose, because right now this ain't it. I need the vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. You have to have vision in order to move forward in your life. You have to have vision. And so that's why you're feeling like that right now, because your vision needs to be restored. And let's see, did you have anything else? Well, something that you're afraid of, or I don't know if it's afraid or is it ashamed. You either said you regret this or you're ashamed about. Either way, it's the same thing. Where you are at in life, you're ashamed about it. It's good. It's good that you're ashamed about where you are or that you regret where you are right now. And the reason why I say that is that means you can see that this place that you are right now is not where you need to be. So that means that there has to be more in life. Because if you actually thought that was all life was about, then why would you be ashamed? If you didn't think there was no more to life, then that means you should just accept what you have. You wouldn't be ashamed, because that's what life is. But it's good that you don't feel good about where you are. Sometimes we can't feel good in these negative situations, because if we do, then we'll stay in that situation. So the fact that you don't feel good or you feel ashamed about where you are in life is going to be your driving force to do something about it, right? It's good that you have time to change your current situation. And so the next question is about pushing people away. Pushing people away. The question is, why do I seem to drive people away instead of encouraging them to stay? Mm. So we've had so many questions like this. Why do I seem to drive people away instead of encourage them to stay? Let's see if you had anything else you wanted to say with this. You're either ashamed or you regret the fact that you cheated on a partner when you were 15. No, it was 15 years ago, and you're still ashamed about it. Okay, obviously, because you wrote that down. That was 15 years ago. You still ashamed about that. We're gonna get to that, but so why do you always seem to drive people away? You said seem. Seem. Seem is like when you're looking at something from one perspective. Oh, that seems like that. That's because of the perspective you're looking at it. And so maybe you're not driving people away. Maybe your season has expired with that person. hmm Instead of wanting to stay with you, your season expired. Everybody is not forever, especially when it comes to friendship. When it comes to friendship, a lot of people remain friends with people who they should have dissolve that friendship long ago. But because of history or because they just don't want to be alone, they continue in friendships that are toxic or have just expired. And you may not drive people away, but their purpose in your life may have been completed. And so that's looking at that situation in another perspective. Um, but encouraging them to stay. The thing is, you want the people in your life who are supposed to be there. And that's what we're doing in life. We're trying to find divine partners, destiny partners, divine connections. Everybody is not forever. If you try to make, that's when strife happens. That's when resentment, jealousy, bitterness, a lot of those negative emotions come when people try to force squares into circles or triangles into rectangles when stuff just don't fit. So it wasn't that you drove them away. It's just that they noticed something did not fit anymore. If it used to fit, maybe you outgrew that person or they outgrew you, but it no longer fit. So they just said, you know what? I don't want to make something try to work that's clearly not working. It was nice meeting you. Our season is up. On to the next one, right? On to the next one. And even if you're talking about trying to find um, a relationship with another person, you got to know when this is over so you don't waste no more time. When you're dating, you're trying to connect the dots. You're not trying to make stuff fit that just don't fit. You're trying to make sure that this person lines up with your purpose, your destiny. If you all have great chemistry, if this person is for you, if one person C is not, that's fine. Move on, continue so that you can find who is out there that's exactly for you. You got to look at this in another perspective. That's what I would encourage you to do. But the next question is about toxic relationships. And the question reads, why do I stay in verbally and mentally abusive relationships? The first thing that came up to me is generational curses. I'm serious. If you and it may not be for you, but if you look at your family history, and see if your mom was like that, or your dad, or your dad's mom, or your grandpa, your great grandparents. See if that's a constant factor in your bloodline. And that will also show you why it's so easy for you to stay in domestic violent relationships if that's in your bloodline. So that's a simple question for you. I mean, that's a simple answer for you. It could be a generational curse that you will have to break. Let me see if there was anything else that you put with this. Um, oh, you know what? There was something that you put with this. You are ashamed of your addiction. So yeah, you have drug abuse and you have domestic abuse in your blood. And so I get it. I get why you're ashamed about your addiction. I get you're making a lot of terrible decisions and you just are feeling stuck. And you're like, what is going on? Why is this my life? How can I get out of this? Come to me, message me, Grace. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. Because that's something deep right there. Y'all, I want to go back to this real quick, pushing people away. The young lady, don't know her name because I don't, these are anonymous. She said, I forgot to go over this, but she said that she was ashamed that she had cheated on a partner 15 years ago and she's still ashamed about it. Okay, so you got to stop letting shame grip your soul. You did something 15 years ago. You did something 15 years ago. Okay, you regret it. Good. You regret it. You regretted it. You're ashamed about it. So that means you have the opportunity to do something different. That's the reason you're supposed to be ashamed of things. You're not supposed to live in shame. Whenever you do something that's wrong, you should feel bad about it, but you shouldn't continue to feel bad about it. You should just make better decisions, because if you continue to feel bad about it, that can affect all your other relationships. And that also could be a reason why you have been driving people away, because you have not forgiven yourself. You can forgive yourself. You can. You don't have to live in shame. You don't have to live in regret. That can be your testimony to help the next person who did something like that. You could help the next person not do something like that, but you got to get out of shame first. Shame binds you. It does not free you. We have all done shameful acts, young lady. I don't know your name. We've all done shameful acts. We've all done things that were not proper. And we were supposed to feel bad about it so that we wouldn't do it again, and so that we can help others not do it again. But I promise you, I highly believe that if you forgive yourself for what you did 15 years ago, then your future relationships will improve. And so I just wanted to touch on that because I forgot to go back to that. The next one is detecting narcissism. The question is, how can I identify if my partner is a narcissist? And what should I do if they are? First of all, look up the definition of a narcissist. Look it up. I don't even know a specific question as to why you're asking that. Sometimes I wonder if this question comes from one of those, I don't know, those people in the group who is trying to find, I don't know. I don't even know if this is a true person who asked this question, but look up the definition of a narcissist. See if your partner is, and I'm sorry, y'all, I didn't mean no offense by that. Okay, let me explain. There are people who come to the group and they're spammers. And they're always trying to use narcissistic abuse as a way to gain trust with the women in the group. They're scam artists. And so that's where that came from. Anyway, and sometimes they submit questions. They try to gain my trust too. You know what I'm saying? The narcissist is going to try to gain your trust. Right? They're going to try to make you think that there's somebody they're not. But that's the thing. You got to ask God to open your eyes so you can see. Pray that God give you high levels of discernment so you can be aware of things that the physical eye cannot see. But you can also look up the definition of a narcissist and see if that person matches. And then what should you do if they are? If you value your life, you can run. Especially if it's quick. I mean, if you met them quickly, or if it's a new relationship, run. That's what you can do. The next question is, self-sabotage. Why? Okay, so the question is, why do I sabotage my relationships? Sabotage. Why do you sabotage your relationship? Did you have anything else you want to say with this? Okay, I got something else I gotta go back to. I just found out, y'all, that was not from a narcissist spam page. But you sabotage. You said you regret being skinny. Oh, I remember you. I don't remember your face, but I remember this question. You said, I'm African, so you'll understand. You're ashamed that you're skinny. And you're African, so I'll understand. I do. Don't let them African men make you feel ashamed because you're healthy. Look, they want a big woman. Let them want their big woman. Maybe you're supposed to be with an American man or a Chinese man or a Japanese man. Don't let them African men make you feel bad about who you are. They want you to eat some pig feet and pork rind and all that stuff that's going to cause you to be unhealthy. And there's no offense to the people who doing that, but be you and don't ever feel ashamed because you don't look like the other women around you. You're unique. You fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, marvelous as God works, and don't let nobody make you feel bad because of the way that God handcrafted your body. I mean, that's that. But why do you sabotage relationships, like, destroy? I'm over here looking up the word deliberately destroy. Yeah, like I said, deliberately destroy, damage, or destruct something, especially. Okay, we ain't gonna go into all of that. But why are you always destroying your own relationships? It could be because the way that you're thinking. It could be because of insecurities. It could be because you are clingy. I don't know. I don't know what your patterns are, but that's a self reflection question. I remember back when I was 25, I wanted to know the reason why some of my friends or my cousins kind of like backed away from me. And one, actually, it was like a self like evaluation. So I remember one of my friends, she's a sister in Christ, and I asked her some self evaluation questions. And she told me that, and I didn't think this was true, but this is what she said. She said, you ask a lot of questions, but you don't tell me anything about yourself. So basically, she felt like I wouldn't open up, but that's not true. I do share certain things. You just have to ask me. But she looked at it as if I wouldn't share certain things, but I'm always asking something. No, I'm going to always ask something. So you ask something too, so you can find out. That's the only way you're going to find out something about me is if you ask, because otherwise, if you don't ask to me, that makes me feel like you don't want to know. So, and then so I had another friend. I love her. And I asked her kind of like, why did she stop, talking to me? And I asked this question about 5 years ago. And she said, because like when I had converted to a true believer in Christ, it's because she felt like I was trying to shove it down her throat. But in my viewpoint, it was like I was just super excited. I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. I was just being me. I thought, like, I was super excited. I was trying to tell everybody, and if they said something that was different, I'm like, no, that's not it. I didn't know how to just use wisdom. I wasn't wise yet at the time. I was just fresh. And so the thing is, you got to ask people after years go by or some time go by, you gotta just evaluate, what did I do? There was this other guy. I remember, this is the last example. I went out on a date with him. This is way before I was married. Actually, it wasn't way before I was married, probably a couple years before. But I went out with him, and then I think we went out like 2 times, and then the next thing you know, he didn't ask me out again, and I think he just kind of stopped messaging me. And then he randomly, and this was when I was married, right? He randomly sent me a text message or something like that. And was this when I was married? If it was when I was married, I must have been like in my like fresh. But I remember when he told me, I remember this when I was married. I was about like 2018, early. Um, I asked him like what, because I was just curious. I wasn't interested in him. Even when we went out on a date, I wasn't interested in him. I was just hungry. So, right, and that's the thing. He said he let me know what happened. Basically, I was inconsiderate. He rearranged his entire day for us to go on out on a date at the Cheesecake Factory. He took the bus to the Cheesecake Factory early because something had to happen to his car. His car was in the shop, so he had to rearrange his schedule and travel. I mean, change his whole day. And the bus take like 2 hours if you want to go somewhere. And I was still like an hour late, and I had a car. I didn't think to tell him, hey, I'm running late. or nothing. But I had a car and I was late, but he had to ride the bus and he was on time. And then I did it again. And he didn't appreciate that. And the thing is, when I asked that, I began to realize I did not appreciate people's time. I really didn't, and that ain't cool. And I still am trying to work on time now. But I'm working on it, okay? And I do appreciate people's time. Sometimes I just say I ain't coming. And that's how I'm appreciating you. So I'm gonna let you know, hey, I'm not coming. Or if you want me to come, I'm gonna be late. I do communication now. But before I was very inconsiderate. Very, 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 very inconsiderate. Next question. End of the road. What does that mean? The question is, what are the signs that my relationship has run its course? Hmm. That's a great question. What are the signs your relationship has run its course? You know, especially if you're not married, this is easy. There's just no joy. Y'all don't want to really talk to each other anymore. Y'all really don't do anything together. It's really bland. You don't even see y'all's destiny or purpose aligning. Stuff just sizzled out. If it sizzled out, no need to rekindle it. Go on to the next one. Go on to the next one. And did you have anything else with this? No, you didn't. But there was something, you all. I need to go back because there was something, and I'm trying to see like where did it come from. It came from the one that I was talking about, the narcissist. Let's see. How to identify your partner is the narcissist. So you wanted to detect a narcissist. You said that you are ashamed of this. It says, when we have a little argument, he yells so loud that my neighbors do hear our conversation. Or sometimes they come over to ask if I'm okay when he leaves the house. I thought he's supposed to be calm and let's get over anything between. Yeah, this is a scam. This is one of them scam questions. And I'm starting to detect the narcissists because they be asking the same question, they be using the same email. I be trying to get them out of this group, y'all. Please forgive me. Yeah, uh-huh. Okay, so the next one is what are the signs that my relationship? The next one is about communication. And it says, how can I improve communication in my relationship? What a broad question. And that's why this show didn't take that much to put together. I usually like to try to get the great questions, but I said, you know what, y'all, I'm gonna just start going down the list. I try to filter out little questions like this that don't have much context, but start talking, learn somebody's love language, speak to them in the language that they love. Listen to understand and don't listen to respond, right? I mean, very simple things. I'm not gonna be able to give you much because you didn't ask for much with that. And y'all just make sure y'all ask a question that y'all really want to know. I get so many questions, you all. The group gets so many questions. If you don't want to ask the question, you do not have to ask one. It's just for people who really want to ask one. Because how can you improve your communication? If you fuss, if you, every time you talk and you always complaining, stop complaining. Start appreciating people more. Start acknowledging what somebody did do and stop talking about what they didn't do. Sound kind, sweet, compassionate. I don't know what the communication issue is. So I can't really go into that much. And I'm trying to see if there was anything in here that could give me a little bit more. No, I have already asked that question to myself many, many times. So no, we're going to the next one. It's talking about trusting instincts. And this is the last one. My goodness. Oh wow, we went through that. The last question, trusting instincts. Should I trust my gut feeling that my partner has cheated despite no solid evidence? Should you trust your gut feeling? I wonder, but you don't have no solid evidence, but what Let me see what you really asked. 'Cause there's a little bit more in here. It says, do you continue to trust your gut instinct that your partner has cheated despite no solid evidence other than photos and conversations with working women? Or do you let it go? And if so, how when it keeps coming back? I don't know what that means. Conversation with working women. I would do a further investigation on that one. Something you're ashamed of is not letting go of my gut instincts in my relationship despite never having solid evidence of the suspected behavior. If you don't have solid evidence, I would do an investigation. I would, because you said you have other photos. You have evidence of photos and conversations with working women. Why he got photos of women in his phone? I don't care if they're working or not working. I don't know why they're in his phone. And what is the conversation about? You know, my husband, he got his own business and he talks to different customers. Um, and so if he talks to a woman about something that he need to do a job on their car, and that's not an issue, is this the conversations, are they about work? Like, are they on a team and they have conversations about work? That's the substance that I need in order to really give you some solid advice other than do a further investigation. Because I mean, your gut is there for a reason, but we also don't want you to be projecting because of past unhealed trauma, right? So, if you do have some evidence, like photos, because that's enough evidence for me to do a further investigation. Um, do a further investigation. That's all I have for you on that one. But yeah, so great questions, you all. Thank you so much for submitting your questions to me and taking the time to listen to the answers that I have provided for you. You guys know I love doing this because it's so many questions going on in the group and people are mean, right? I be seeing them talk to y'all, but when I say mean, they just tell y'all the truth, to be quite honest. And sometimes you can't really feel what they're saying because it's through text. And when I say mean, I mean it's the truth, right? But I know how your feelings can be hurt when you hear the truth. And so my job here is to voice my thoughts, my perspective, my opinions without the blandness behind the keyboard. I hope that makes sense. But we are going to show you what we have to offer at the end. And right before that, I am letting you know about our live therapy. Guys, you all do know that live therapy is the name of our counseling sessions. It does not mean I am a therapist. However, we do talk therapy, we vent it out, let it out in grace. Your life coach is here to advise you about what you can do in that situation. I've talked to plenty of women and I have heard great transformations, you all. Make sure you look at the link in the descriptions below so that you can register for live therapy. It's very detailed instructions on that, and so you won't get lost in the registration process. Just go ahead, click the link, fill it out. And there's something else we have for you all. You see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Managing relationship anxiety. Yes, yes, yes. Managing relationship anxiety. This is an ebook, y'all. I wish I could put this up a different way. This is an ebook. And with this ebook, I want you to know it is free. It is absolutely free. And you can look at that description. I'm sorry, that link to that ebook below. Managing relationship anxiety. If you are someone who suffers from abandonment, you always feel like if your significant other don't text you that he out the dead, got in a car crash, or he's cheating, that book is for you. It gives you great tips, tricks to help you overcome those struggles, and it's free. Who don't like free? I know I like free. That book is for you, and it's got some great goodies in there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you got empowered, if you got uplifted, if you got inspired, if there was some light shedded in that darkness, you need to tell somebody to join our relationship advice group for women because it's transformation taking place in that atmosphere. Okay? If you are looking at this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Connect, connect, connect. We've got so many different ways that you can connect with us. So if you need that support group that you've been looking for, it's here. Even the link to join the Facebook group, if you are not in our group, you can join it. The link is there. If you want to sign up for our email list to get the newest what do you call it, the newest information that's going on in the group, because we're always dropping new things, new books, new articles, new audio books, new workbooks, new courses. Transformation is taking place. Until next time,